Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's Caleb SNT. If you're new here, please don't forget to like, to subscribe, and to comment down below. Don't also forget to hit the post notification so you guys can be notified whenever I upload a video. So in today's 5-minute video, I'm going to be talking about the art of moving on. Be it moving on from, life situations, friendships, relationships, and, all that stuff. You have to move on. Anyway, so let's get right into it. So the first thing I'm going to talk about, know when to leave. I feel like it's important to know when to leave. And leaving, I feel like, is one of the hardest things to do, but is an important first step. Sometimes we try to stay and so we can see if things will work out eventually, but know when to leave. There will be signs. Signs will show. You said, I'm no longer needed here. Never stay in a place or in a friendship, in a relationship where you are no longer needed. People will show you. Some will tell you, in fact, if they don't tell you, they will show you. So please know when to leave. You see the signs eventually that, okay, it's getting messy. This is not for me. Stop trying to, tell me I'm strong, I'm what. No, if you're not in a space, please move. Go where you're going to be appreciated. So once you decide that, you now have to accept. Especially if you are the person that was disappointed, it's very hard to accept that it's time to move on. I feel like acceptance is one of the hardest things, but is also such an important step in the moving on process, because if you don't accept, you will be in denial. To accept that this is what's going on and it's time for me to move on now. Acceptance is very, very important, because once you accept that I can't be in this friendship or situationship is over, it will help you heal and move on. But if you're in denial, you haven't accepted, you still go back to a position where, to a place where you are not appreciated, or, to strength that you're trying to live. So it's important to accept. And once you accept, make sure you feel the emotions. That's so important. If your coping mechanism is I don't say food. If your coping mechanism is crying and all that stuff, feel the emotions. Moving on is not an easy process. But once you accept that, okay, this is what's going on, I now need to move in a different direction, make sure you feel all the emotions that you need to feel. Make sure if it's crying, make sure you cry. If it's talking to someone about it, make sure you take active steps to help you feel better, feel the emotions. So once you now feel like once you're now in the process of moving on, you've fully moved on. Or rather than you feeling like you've moved on, then after a year, then you now, So sometimes you can just bury these emotions. You can bury the emotions and oh no, I've moved on, I don't care and whatnot. But then a few months down the line, it hits you oh, I'm now alone. So make sure in that process, make sure you accept, you feel what you need to feel. Make sure you move on emotionally, then move on, Then after you've figured out when to leave, you've accepted, you felt the emotions, you felt what you need to feel, it's now important. So once you've done all that, now it's time to take active steps to move on. How do you take active steps to move on? Focus on things that don't put yourself in places or an environment that reminds you of what you're trying to move on from. Calling people, texting, how are you supposed to move on if you're still in that person's life or you're still in those people's lives? This is now when you need to block, you need to mute status. You need to take active steps. If out of sight, out of mind. So if somebody's out of your sight, they're definitely going to be out of your mind. So you need to take active steps to say, okay, enough is enough. I'm now, working towards moving on from you, or moving on from this friendship, or moving from that relationship. if you're found in the same space, you can say hi, hey, but like don't, you know, be in that space for a very, very long time, because it's going to take you back to what you're trying to move on from. You know, so yeah, so take active steps and make sure you are protecting your mental sanity as you're moving on as well, which is very, very important. But guys, moving on is not an easy process. But yeah, if you guys need a longer video, we can do another video. But for now, this is 5 minutes with Caleb SNT. See you guys in the next one. Bye.
God, you call me by my name. The love you give me.